Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Bad habits lead to white eyes, tearing in space, and I'm no one lose control of the things that I say. I was looking for a way out, now I can't escape.
G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Ed Sheeran's new single, Bad Habits, which is a really cool song. Now I'm going to teach you two different ways of playing this song. The first method requires a capo on the second fret, but it allows you to play the really cool riff that's in the verse. But then the second method I'm going to teach you requires no capo, and it has elements of how Ed Sheeran played it in his Instagram video. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve on your guitar in general, then sign up to Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. All right, let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you the way that I like to play it, and it involves a capo on the second fret of your guitar. The reason why I like using the capo is because you get to play that really cool riff that's in the verses. So let's start with the verse, and this is finger picked. Now, in terms of our finger picking basics, your thumb will take care of the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, and your index, middle, and ring finger will take care of the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings respectively. Ideally, they shouldn't pluck any other strings other than the ones they've been assigned to. So the verse is just one line of tab. We start with an A minor chord shaped like this. So let's break this bar up into two sections. So our first set of 4 notes is simply the 5th string, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So, and then our second set of 4 notes is the 2nd string, 1st string, bass note, lift your index finger and hit the open 2nd string. And at this stage, you can start transitioning to our next chord, which is our C major 7. So from our A minor and our index finger lifted, you just take your ring finger to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. But in total for that A minor bar, and then we go to our C major 7, and our picking pattern is quite similar. So our first 4 notes is identical. So 5th string, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And then our second set of 4 notes is 2nd string, 1st string, bass note. And then we're going to take our middle finger and move it down 1 string to the 2nd fret of the 3rd and hit that. And that will give us a chance to position our fingers to an F chord. But let's take it back to that C major 7, to the second set of 4 notes. And for the C major 7 bar, so whilst we're in this position, we're going to transition to our F chord. So you'll keep your ring and middle finger where they are. Put your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string and index finger simply on the 1st fret of the 6th string. And we're going to leave our 1st and 2nd strings open. Our first set of 4 notes is the 6th string, 3rd, 4th, and back to 6th. So, and then our second set of 4 notes is 3rd, 2nd, 6th, and 3rd. So this bar. For our second bar, we start off the same way. And then for our second set of 4 notes, it's 3rd string, 2nd string, and then we'll move our ring finger up to the 3rd fret, hit that, and then index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string and hit that. So in total for this bar, and in total for the verse riff. And that just gets repeated again and again for the verse. Now, if you want an easier way of playing the verse with this capo, then it's really nice and simple. There's just a few chords. So we have A minor, C major 7, our F chord, and then F and G. Now, in terms of strumming pattern, we're just going to do all down strums at 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so we're going to do that for a full bar for the A minor, C major 7, a full bar for the F, and for the F and G, we're going to share a bar there. So we'll change on the 3 beat for the F to the G in that final bar. So an easy way of playing this verse is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 All right, next we move to the pre-chorus, and it's really simple because we've basically already learnt most of it. We're just changing up the verse riff a little bit. So after the second bar, where we have that C major 7, we're going to go to a D minor chord. So with our middle finger already where it is, just put your index finger on the first fret of the first string and pinky finger on the third fret of the second string. And we strum that D minor and hold it out. So the pre-chorus. Alright, next we get to the chorus. The chorus is really simple. There's two lines of chords. We have our A minor, C major 7, F, and F to G. Our second line of chords is almost identical except for that F in the third bar, it's replaced with a D minor chord. But everything else is the same. And again, we're using an all down strum strumming pattern at eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now, if you want to give it a little more feel, what you can do is accent on the 2 and 4 beats. So play those strums a little harder. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Something like that. But also what I like to do in the first part of the chorus is palm mute those strums as well. So when you palm mute a chord, what you want to do is focus on the bass notes of the chord. So if it's an A minor, for example, you just want to focus on strumming on the 5th and 4th strings. And you put your palm, rest it lightly on the edge of the bridge, and you pivot around that point when you're strumming, and you get that nice palm muted sound. So altogether, the chorus will sound like this. Or you can ignore the palm muting altogether, it's completely up to you. Now the bridge is exactly the same as the chorus chords, so nothing new to learn there. And the only other variation is the last chorus, where we're just mixing up the strumming pattern. So what happens with the strumming pattern is that we're only doing down strums on the end beats. So for example, with the A minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Basically what you want to do is just rest your palm on every down beat. So if it's a 1, 2, 3 or 4, then rest your hand, and on the end beat, that's where you want to strum. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the last chorus would sound like this. Now let's go to a no capo version. So for our verse, we just have one line of chords. We're going to play a B minor chord, a D major 7 chord up here. So index on the 5th fret of the 5th string, ring and pinky on the 7th frets of the 4th and 2nd, and middle finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. And then we go to a G, and then G to A. Now our strumming pattern is going to be all down strums at 8th notes. And if you want, you can accent on the 2 and the 4 beats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And what I like to do in the verses as well is strip it back with palm muting. So again, you're resting the edge of your palm lightly on the edge of the bridge and just focusing on the top 2 or 3 bass notes of each chord. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's it for the verse. For the pre-chorus, we have our B minor, D major 7, and then we're going to an E minor and holding that out until the chorus. Now for the chorus, there's a bit of a funky picking pattern here, and there's 2 lines of tab altogether. So we're going to start with our B minor. So we're going to hit the bass note with our thumb, and then we're going to do a muted slap, but at the same time, you'll flick your index and middle finger onto the 2nd and 3rd strings. So usually they are located underneath those strings so you can pluck them up. But what you're going to do when you slap is flick them down onto those strings. So your thumb will simultaneously hit down on the strings as you flick those fingers and you'll get a percussive element at the same time as notes ringing out. So 1 and 2. Now, when you do that flick, you want to flick so that your thumb comes back into place on top of the 5th string, because we're going to pluck that straight away, and then the 3rd and 2nd strings. So 1 and 2 and 3 and on the 4 beat, you just do a muted slap. So just drop your whole hand on the strings, and on the end beat after the 4, another hit on the bass note. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's our typical picking pattern. Bass note, our flick mute, and then bass note, 3rd, 2nd strings, a muted slap, and then the bass note. And one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the D major 7, so all the notes are exactly the same, it's just a different chord shape we're playing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we go to a G add 9. So this is how Ed plays it in that Instagram video he just posted. So it's the same as a G chord, but you're taking your index finger and putting it on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So our bass note is now the 6th string, but everything else in that picking pattern is identical. So it will sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then for the final bar, we're just going to hit the bass note on the 2 beat, do that flick slap, and then hit the bass note on the end beat, and that's it. So 1 and 2 and then we go to our A chord by just barring our index finger across the 2nd frets of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. And then we do the exact same picking pattern: 1 and 2 and. So that bar: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the first line of the tab all together: 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For the second line of tab, our first 2 bars are identical. For the 3rd bar, instead of going to the G add 9, we're going to go to an E minor 7 bar chord like this. So it's up at 7th and 9th and 8th frets. So bar with your index, and then 9th fret of the 4th string and 8th fret of the 2nd string with your middle finger. We're going to play the exact same picking pattern that we've had for our last 2 previous chords. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go up to a G bar chord like this up here. Now this is a little tricky, but yeah, you'll need to bar your ring finger across the 12th frets of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and then with your index finger just hit the 10th fret of the 5th string. And one picking pattern here: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's a chorus which sounds like this in total. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now if that picking pattern is too hard, then there's easier chords for the chorus. It's just B minor, D major 7, G, G to A. And then for the second line of chords, B minor, D major 7, E minor, and then G to A. And we can just use an all down strumming pattern here, 8th notes. For the final bar though, the G to the A, they both share a bar. But other than that, it's really, really simple. So an easier way of playing this chorus is like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 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 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the only other thing to consider is the last chorus, where the strumming rhythm will change for the chorus. So we have these chords down here below, but similar to what I taught you in the capo version, we're only going to be strumming on the end beats, and on the down beats you'll just drop your hand onto the strings so that nothing rings out. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 And that's everything for the no capo version, which is a little more aligned to that short clip that Ed Sheeran played on his Instagram. So now I'll be doing 2 playthroughs of the song. The first method is the capo version, and the second playthrough will be the no capo version. A big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals this playthrough. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice playing along to and see how you go.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight has something wonderful. My bad habits lead to late nights and being alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I've got nothing left to lose or use or dim. My bad habits lead to wide eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say. I'm just looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after 2. It's true, it's true. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. Every pure intention ends when the good times start. Falling over everything to reach the first time spot. It started under neon lights, then it all got dark. I only know how to go too far. My bad habits lead to late nights and being alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I've got nothing left to lose or use or dim. My bad habits lead to wide eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say. I'm just looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after 2. It's true, it's true. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. We took a long way round and burned till the fire ran out. Now my bad habits lead to late nights and being alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I've got nothing left to lose or use or dim. My bad habits lead to wide eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say. I'm just looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after 2. It's true, it's true. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight has something wonderful. My bad habits lead to late nights and being alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I've got nothing left looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after two. It's true, my bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. Every pure intention ends when the good times start. Falling over everything to reach the first time spot. It started under neon lights, then it all got dark. I only know how to go too far. My bad habits lead to late nights and they alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I've got nothing left to lose or use or do. My bad habits lead to wide eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say. I was looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after two. It's true, my bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. We took a long way around and burned till the fur ran out. Now, bad habits lead to late nights and they alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I've got nothing left to lose or use or do. My bad habits lead to wide eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say. I was looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after two. It's true, my bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.